Welcome to Gone Gaming. I'm Luca.
I'm Ashton.
And I'm Matt.
And we are your uninformed source for gaming news.
What's going on, everybody? How you all doing this week?
I'm good, Matt. How about you?
I'm good.
You feeling a little older, a little wiser this week?
No, not really.
No?
Still foolish, still daft young kid.
That's all right. I'm significantly older than you yet. I believe my maturity level is equivalent to grade 3.
Yeah, well, my grade 3 reading level hasn't changed in all this time.
My vocabulary is at I went from 3 to 4. Grade
I
3 to 4.
speak English well.
Oh, there you go.
Ashton, how are you doing? You're just sitting there.
I'm all right. I've just realized I'm the oldest one here.
Oh, usually I am because I have a lot of friends that are born after me. I'm born in July, yet everyone else seems to be later than that.
I'm the old man here.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
Fine.
Do you
Shut up.
think you're wiser than us because you're older?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
An old man can die foolish.
I don't know.
Yep.
That seems like a saying that I'm unfamiliar with.
All right, so this week's topic, being topical, NBA All-Star Weekend is going on, kicking off this week.
That's right.
The Super Bowl happened not too long ago.
Yes.
The infamous choke job of the Atlanta Falcons.
Or just Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things.
Well,
Just crushing it.
was it Tom Brady crushing it, or was it
Yeah.
Atlanta failing to run the ball when all they needed was a field goal?
No,
And then
I think
throwing 2 incompletes, 2 penalties, and a sack.
Well, the side it happens. It's not like they threw a pick or anything. They just.
It was an incomplete,
it was
a penalty,
unfortunate.
and a sack.
But you're not going to throw it. You're not going to kick a. Okay, so let's say they kick a 40-something yard field goal
No, but-
on first down.
No, but they could have ran, even if they didn't get the field goal, they could have ran the ball to kill time off the clock so that the Patriots didn't have as much time when they got the ball back.
Yeah.
Tom Brady turned it on. That's what happened.
Sure, but I think
the fact that they
turning
came back
point-
with how many unanswered points? That was
It was like 28-3, and then it was a
28-21.
No, when
Right?
that happened, when Atlanta needed the field goal,
yeah.
when Atlanta needed the field goal, it was the Patriots had scored 1 touchdown, and at that point, it was game over. Like once the Atlanta Falcons failed to get that field goal or just run the ball, that was the undoing of the end. That was the
that was the start of it, of course. But
that was
I
the
mean,
turning point.
Everything had to go right for the Patriots, and everything
they
had to go
did.
wrong for the Falcons.
They,
not-
Tom
I'm not
Brady wasn't doing well in the
discrediting-
in the whole first
Yeah,
half.
they were all out of sync.
That's my point. He brought it.
I'm not discrediting what Tom Brady did, but I feel like the Falcons had that game, and if they had just decided not to call throw plays and just ran the ball, they might have gotten through with it. But that's nor here nor there. We're not a sports podcast. We are a game podcast, and
So why are we talking about sports, Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
because this week we're going to talk about sports video games. The two of you seem to be less than favorable for them, and I'm
You're huge into them.
I'm a big sports video game guy. I play my FIFA, my NHL.
Every year.
Yeah, I dabble with Madden.
Look, I used to be into the sport games every year, or more or less, playing with my friends, and they'd literally come by and we'd only do that to the point where I kind of got sick of them for a while. So that's kind of where I
Sick
started.
of the games or your friends?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, you know?
See, that's the thing I miss was getting together with friends and doing like 2v2 sports games. Like we had a chance last night to do with a couple buddies. Ash, and you were witness to how ridiculous it gets. But it's something that you don't get with gaming enough now that everything's online centric.
That's true.
You lose that in being on the same couch, trash talking each other, coming up with excuses and laughing. It has a whole element.
That's been replaced by talking to strangers and calling them, I guess, politically incorrect terms would be.
Yeah, it is. And that's something that sports games still offer that not enough games offer.
Yeah,
and I wish more games would push that local multiplayer and people would decide to get together more and hang out and play games.
Right.
But I have a question for you. Why is it that you guys aren't fans of sports games? What is it in particular that refrains you from going out and picking up a game and trying to get into it?
Well, Ashton is probably going to be a simpler answer. I have a complicated one, so go ahead, Ashton.
Mine's a little convoluted, I guess. I don't want to say the fact it's the same thing every year because that's what Call of Duty is and we enjoy playing that.
Well,
But it's part of that is I don't know. For me, I used to like them a lot, just kind of like Luca was saying back in the day on Genesis. I used to play a lot of sports games, early PlayStation. I just got bored of them. Literally, it's the same thing. They might improve graphics, they'll improve the technicality of the gameplay, but it's literally the same thing. The main thing that changes is some of the players, because
Yeah, obviously.
they've been drafted. But it's the same thing over and over again, and I got bored of it. Like NFL Blitz, that was fun
Yeah.
because
That
it was
was
a
a great game.
ridiculous game.
And it was different, right?
But there's a
The
lot
fact
of
there's
sports
no
games.
fouls allowed, like it was fun, and you just plowed through people.
No, I agree with you. Like, that's my whole thing. I was playing FIFA every year, and I was playing NHL every year. And actually, I'm a bigger fan of NHL, I believe, than FIFA because I played less of it. All my friends wanted to do was play FIFA. So year after year, very minor improvements. Like, I know we play Call of Duty every year, but at least the maps are different and everything. Soccer, a pitch is going to look like a pitch.
Call of Duty also has a different developer, right? FIFA is always developed by EA,
Yeah.
and a lot of the time they'll change minor things, but they use this marketing campaign where they always say keywords like, you know, the new through ball and new shielding, where they have those things in games before, then they'll take them out, then they'll re-add them in,
And it's new.
Yeah, and the thing I don't get is, and I want to get your take on this, would games, especially sports games, be better suited as instead of annual, maybe every 2 years?
Well,
Because a lot of stuff can be done through updates. Rosters, like you said, that can be updated. Jerseys, that can be updated.
Absolutely.
They have codes that you can get. They just added the Centennial Classic jersey in the latest NHL update.
yeah.
So those little aesthetic things that games offer, you can literally fix that through updates. Same with
I feel
tuner
like
sets.
the new games that come out, they might have a new menu, they might have a little thing, but the core gameplay,
It's all the same.
very little changes
Yeah.
happen year to year, and they could even do it in an update, but they're not going to make money that way, so they won't do it that way.
But wouldn't they benefit from making better games where people like you guys that are on the fringe would have to get into it if
I still probably
every
wouldn't buy
2
it.
years they would come in with an update and they have classic teams, they add reasons to get the game, like a good story mode.
I think I enjoyed them more when they went more like arcade-like. For example, when FIFA Street came out, I loved FIFA Street.
Yeah,
FIFA
yeah.
Street was
Because it
fun.
was different, it was fun. They added different elements,
Well,
gameplay.
it's like when you go back to the beginning, it's like NBA Jam.
yeah, NBA Jam.
No,
Was
like
awesome.
live was cool. Did they have another one? I know they had Bulls versus Blazers and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but
Celtics versus Lakers playoff edition.
was that? I didn't even know that. But yeah, so those are kind of the simulator, the
Simulations.
simulation. There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But yeah,
there's some amazing arcade sports games that we can and should talk about because I feel like they get left out when people consider sports games. One of my all-time favorite sports games is Mario Strikers. To this day, is still one of the best soccer games you'll ever play.
you know what? That was at the end of that. That was closer to at least in the second half of that generation. And I started with a GameCube that time, and then I got PlayStation 2. Was it PlayStation? That was PlayStation 2, right? So I started playing PlayStation 2, and then at the end of the generation, I was more into Xbox. So I skipped that one, but it looked fun.
That game was hilarious because it was basically hockey and soccer in one. You had a small pitch. I think it was like 3v3.
Yeah.
And you picked two side characters, so like a Koopa, a Toad, and you picked one star character that was your captain, so Mario, Luigi.
Okay.
And you played in a caged arena, and you could body check people, like full on body
So
check
it was.
people into the electric fence, and you would get rewarded for it. So if you interfered with someone, so if you hit someone out the ball, you'd give them like a shell that they could use, and they could hit you with it, or a blue shell to freeze you.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So remember last week we were talking about video game movies. This would be very violent movie if they made it.
Absolutely.
It would be rated R.
Yeah.
Electric fences and
It'd
like
be like that the Death Race movie,
Right.
but with soccer and Mario.
yeah, like Tarantino would have to direct that one.
Yeah,
Smashing
exactly.
people in the face with shells.
But that
Breaking
game was a ton of fun. You got 4 people together, and that game was full of laughter. NBA Jam. That
Yeah.
game was an arcade game, and it's still one of the best basketball games of all time.
'Cause I think when it comes down to it, like if you want a real like simulation, a sports simulation, you're going to go out and play the sport, right? I think that like
More
that's for
times
me.
than less.
For me, I'd rather play the sport, and then if I want to have fun, I want to play a game that's goofy, like FIFA Street or NBA Jam, whatever it is. That's my opinion on it.
I agree with that. A lot of that. I love playing sports, but it's a lot tougher to get your friends together to go out and play the game, right? Like
That's
I
true,
would
that's
love
true.
to play a game of basketball, but
Yeah.
I don't know many people that get together and play it. So I get reduced to, well, I'll just live it virtually.
Vicariously
Yeah,
through.
through
NBA 2K.
virtual games in NBA 2K. But now Rocket League came out.
Is that considered sport?
That's considered a sports game,
Yeah, it would be.
right? You're playing
Okay.
soccer with cars.
They tricked me, is what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, but that was
Those-
a great sports game.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was arcadey. Why
Yeah.
isn't developers trying to branch off into that and make these fun little smaller games but have an arcade element to them?
Well, there's definitely a following for the sports games such as yourself, right?
Well, FIFA units
like-
move well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. It's a great selling game. I don't know. Like I said, those are the ones I enjoy just because it was fun. It was different. It wasn't so technical. That's what I disliked. I started to dislike about the newer versions of Madden and FIFA and even NHL is it got very technical. I stopped liking it then. It was, it was fun back in the day where you picked your play, you knew what they were going to run,
Yeah.
you just throw the ball, pass the ball, like that's it. That's all it was. So now it's like flick this stick right to do this kick flip and go this way, hold run, but don't hold it too long because you're going to lose the ball. It's like, this is too much. I don't want to do that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm playing NBA 2K now, just trying it out, and I'm playing with my friends. And of course, there's a bit of pride. Losing, getting blown out is never good, especially in the games when they probably have like a computer assistant, like assistance where as if you're down 20, you're gonna at least get within 5, and then the other team's gonna pull away, whatever. I was playing a game, and that lead kept going and going, and like the moves you want to do. So you have like two guys on offense. One of your guys, you're driving, you draw the defender, and you pass it to the other guy, so he's right in front of the rim. He can just easily put it in. My guy decides, I'm going to pass it to the guy all the way in the corner who is covered rather than the guy under the net. And it's like, how hasn't this been fixed all throughout all these years? Is it like I have to figure out technical ways of how to do the easiest pass right there to an open guy under the net?
Yes, you do. There's
That's
a
so
way.
stupid.
If you hold R1, it brings up the player icon.
But if I'm like quickly moving around, I shouldn't have to press R1 to bring that up. It's stupid.
I know it's dumb, but it's
There's
one
no
of the
lead pass in NBA. Like the guy's on a clear break and you pass him, he stops. The other guy comes and swats you, even though you had like 10 feet on him.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple things like you really, and it goes to Ashton's point. With sports games now, more so than ever, they've become full-on simulations. They try to make the game as
Terrible
close,
simulations, but yeah.
as close to the real thing as possible. Like you look at NBA 2K and how it's come along. There's the Euro step you can do, the shooting mechanics. Every player has a different shooting mechanic, so some are quicker than others due to their form and their jump shot. It's NHL with the forechecking and the play that you can develop off of it, the settings on it. It's so in depth that a casual fan, it's hard for them to get into.
So the way we've always played NBA is we have a system, right? So it's 1-on-1 or 2 versus 2 where you both randomize your first 2 teams and you have a choice to choose between the first 2 teams. And if you don't like one of your first 2 teams, you can go and you have to take the third choice. So you random the third choice.
Gotcha.
See, this is what we did yesterday.
lost
Is that what you're
watching
talking?
it.
Yeah. Okay.
When
So
we played
gosh.
yesterday, FIFA, what we did was you get 5 randoms
yeah.
for the league, and it has to be a top 5 league.
Yeah.
Once you get in the league, you get 3 choices in the league at random, and you go 2 that you can pick between.
Yeah.
Third one, if you go for it, it's the gamble. You have to pick
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's what we do in NBA. But the problem with NBA 2K is if you don't know your team, you are screwed.
Yeah.
Like your shooting has to be right on. Like it's not just you doing the plays correctly. You have to know how to use each individual player. So if you're randomizing between 30 NBA teams, for me, I only know the Raptors. So when I played with the Raptors, I get more out of them than
Yeah, because
than
you know
with any
who
other
to
team.
shoot with and who not to. But when you're not playing with, if you're playing with Milwaukee outside of Giannis,
Jabari Parker.
or Jabari Parker, you don't really know what you're doing with some of those
Yeah.
players. It's like that with FIFA, right?
Well, FIFA, it's simple, just shot. Like I can
But
play
is
with any
it?
team in FIFA. Yeah, I can.
Because there's a lot of players that use like the trick stick. You got to know what players have 5-star trick skills that you can and cannot use.
I play solid fundamental soccer when I'm playing FIFA or football for anyone who's not American or Canadian.
Yeah. That's the one game I could never get into, though, was Madden. Madden was the one game I found way too confusing.
Really? See,
With the
back
play
in the day, it
calling
was
and
fun.
everything.
Oh my! And the worst thing, no, sorry, we went off on a tangent last night because a bunch of us were playing sports games, and we're talking about Madden. Why it's terrible? Like you're playing the game and it shows you the exact play. It shows the other guy who you're playing against the play you've drawn up.
Yeah.
And like you'll ask Madden, it's like, yeah, you should do a running play. They won't expect it. And then all you hear is Madden when the other guy asks Madden, he's gonna go for a running play. Like it's like giving it all away.
He just likes a stalemate.
See, I haven't played any of the new ones. Back in the day, like the reason why I reference Genesis a lot because I have a lot of fond memories playing it. on there, but it would give you your choice, like 3 options, obviously for your 3 buttons, A,
Yeah,
B, and C.
yeah.
And the other person doesn't know which one you pick, right? Because you
Yeah.
just select it. It doesn't highlight anything. It just, that's the play you do. But it doesn't, like you said, there's no commentary on, oh, he's going to go for this. Like, at least I don't remember that.
Well, I might be exaggerating a bit, but I know like one year it seems like it'll have like all the buttons you can press for the play, and then another year you have to actually select it.
Right.
So it's getting too complicated, but
Like, I don't know. For
Stupid.
hockey for me, Blades of Steel will always be my favorite.
Blades of Steel is a very
That's a
good
great
hockey game.
That is
What-
just so much fun
is
to
that
play.
the one with the fat, skinny, and average guy? Which one's that?
No, it's
That
straight
was
on
ice
Nintendo.
hockey.
That's ice hockey. I love
Yeah,
that one. That's
ice
my
hockey.
favorite.
No, that was just Nintendo. It doesn't really matter what team you picked. I think one really looked blue and the other one was red most of the
Yeah.
time.
It's about all the power that Nintendo
Yeah.
had. We're worried about like polygon counts now and like frame rates. That was literally worried about colors.
You're
Yeah.
bouncing off each other, like running into each other.
It was Blades of Steel.
Oh,
You had to be the goalie, like in ice hockey,
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
too, which was ridiculous. It was so tough.
Mm-hmm. So Blades of Steel was fun. I love that. I had a fond memory, like I said, of playing Madden a lot. So one of my uncles is huge in sports, specifically football.
Mm-hmm.
And so every time I would go to his house, he lived up in Ottawa. He would
So he was a fan of the Roughnecks.
Roughnecks?
no
Rough
like
Riders, sorry, was it?
real sports teams.
No, I'm talking CFL. It's neither.
Yeah, CFL. What was
Real
it? Ottawa
sports.
used to be the Rough Riders, and then they
Is it?
came back.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
Isn't
now they're the
Saskatchewan?
Red Blacks or something.
The Red Blacks. Ottawa and Saskatchewan both
had
had
Rough Riders.
Really?
Rough Riders.
Yeah.
I thought there was another team. Okay.
And
Now
then
they're
they
the Red
just,
Blacks.
Now they're the Red Blacks.
Anyways.
Only in Canada, only in the CFL, could 2 teams have the exact
same
same
name.
name.
And the
Spelled
worst part is
differently.
it's 9 team. It's a 9-team league.
Yeah, and out of those 9 possible teams, 2 had to have the same name.
It was
They
just
couldn't
two
say-
stubborn owners. That's what it was.
So dumb.
So every time I used to go to his house, this was when we actually rented video games. I don't know if anyone remembers
Oh, man.
that time.
I do. I don't
But
know if Matt does. Matt's
I
like
miss
16.
Blockbuster.
Yeah. So he went to the local store. He rented a Sega Genesis with a few games.
You used to be able to rent a system.
Yeah.
I did that with the N64.
There you go. It was fun. So we rented the Sega Genesis. I forget which version of Madden it was. Just by saying that, I'm sure you can figure out the timeline. But
Was it 3D?
no.
No.
So one of the things that we did is he actually owned a sports store as well. Again, he likes sports. And this is when the Adidas tearaway pants came out,
Yes. Okay.
right?
The
So
single greatest invention in the 90s?
yeah, absolutely. So I wanted a pair, but I was a kid. I couldn't afford it. And they're expensive back in the day for what they were. So he got a new stock of them in. He brought the box home. We opened them. I was going through them because I used to work there for him too. I used to help him out.
How much did you steal? How many pairs?
No, none. But one of the things was I said I wanted a pair. I said I'll play you for it. And he's got a lot of pride and he loves football. Right?
That's some.
What did
fighting
you have to
words.
give up anything?
I don't remember what I had to do, but might have had to work at his place for a little while for free.
Slave labor.
But yes, I was over 16. So there was something, I can't remember what I had to do, but I said I wanted to play you for it. So he was down because he knew he could crush me. I destroyed him.
Oh,
I destroyed him in
you
Madden.
played possum like you couldn't play like you're
Like
like, oh,
he
Uncle,
thought
don't
I
know."
was cheating. I was putting in cheat codes because I played
Game
a lot
Shark?
of video games, right?
Game Shark?
So he's like, see me hit buttons. He's like, what are you doing? You're cheating. I'm like, I'm not cheating. I'm playing the game. And he legitimately thought like I cracked the game. I crushed him. So I won a pair of Adidas black tearaways. It was awesome.
See, that's the one thing sports games give you: betting. Mm-hmm. You can bet on things in sports games.
So the moral of this episode, kids, go out and gamble.
Yeah, because it's not the same when you go, hey, I'll play you in a game of Call of Duty for something, because the camping, you can learn spawn points. Like in GoldenEye, if you play proximity mines only, you can know all the spawn locations and just proximity mine them to death. So whenever they spawn, they die. Whereas a sports game, it's a fair advantage. It's a 50-50.
It could go either way.
He had
Yeah.
his miracle on ice, but on the football field. And he got his tearaway pants.
I did.
Now, there's a game franchise I want to talk about that is considered sports. And if you go on Metacritic and you actually look up the top reviewed sports games, it's Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 is considered the best rated sports game.
Well,
on
I
Metacritic.
don't know if I agree, because this is what I have to ask you first. Racing games are considered sports games, right?
I thought that, but I think they're considered just
own
racing
genre?
games.
Oh, okay, 'cause
I
if-
think racing games are considered, because I was wondering, could I put a Mario Kart?
That's
in a sports
exactly what I was
game?
going to say, because Tony Hawk is no Mario Kart, but it's it would be second if Mario Kart is considered a sports game.
Yes, and I
Super
agree.
Stickman Golf 3 was number 6.
Yes.
Sorry.
What?
Super Stickman
Yeah,
Golf
see,
3.
That
So,
sounds like
think-
it's not like supposed to be viewed by children. Super Stickman. Go. No one knows what the Stickman is.
No,
No.
I don't.
You lost me here.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But,
Go Google it, kids.
But yeah, so Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was ranked number 1, which came in at second was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. NFL 2K1 back on Dreamcast was third. Out of the Park
Oh,
Baseball was
2K
number 4.
on Dreamcast was
The thing,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Madden NFL 2003 was number 5. Number 6 was what Ashton said, Super Stickman Golf. Number 7 was ISS Pro Evolution, so it was the soccer game, Pro Evo, at 7. 8 was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. Number 9 was Madden 2002, and 10 was Madden 2004. So Tony Hawk has,
3 of the top 10.
yeah, which is a pretty impressive considering. Now, were you guys into the Tony Hawk series at all?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember playing it on someone else's PlayStation. I don't know if it was did it come out for 64? I think it was later on, but I don't think the first ones were on that
I
one.
love Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk 3 was amazing, the soundtrack, and I love the characters that you can unlock. Like number 3 had,
Is that the one that had the song that everyone thought they were saying Tony Hawk over
Yeah,
and over again?
and
But
so
No,
it
it's-
you
wasn't?
only thought that.
Yeah?
no, I did
other
too.
people did.
And
You
it's
thought
in,
it said 20.
yeah, and it's in GTA 5, the song.
Yes.
I thought there's
And he says amoeba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Amoeba. And for
I thought
some
you were
reason, I
saying
thought you were saying
Adidas,
Tony Hawk.
but-
Yeah, that's another one people, I heard that too.
Adidas.
But yeah, that it had great soundtrack. It was arcadey, which was fun.
That's
You
solid.
could put in wicked cheats.
Did that have the Star Wars kid or was that number 2?
Number, I think number 2 had the Star Wars kid. Number 3 had Darth Maul,
believe they
Wolverine,
Right.
and I can't remember who the other person was.
No, I'm copying. That was amazing. You had to go up a certain wall and you'd go into the building, and then there's the Star Wars kid
Like
just doing his
poor
moves there.
kid, man. That kid got like ostracized for that. What did he do? He sent that into Lucasfilm or whatever it was.
Something like that. Someone recorded him, or I know he recorded it, but I don't know how it got out. But he was pretty much trying to be Darth Maul from Episode 1, and he was just swinging the double-sided lightsaber around.
He wasn't like your average kid though. Was he like autistic or something? Or
Possibly.
No, I don't think so. I'd like to think humanity would have left him alone.
Really?
no?
If he
There's
was-
terrible people on the internet.
No, it wouldn't have been that big of a meme if he was autistic. I think he was just a normal kid.
I don't know.
Because that would be terrible. That'd be a dark
okay,
spot.
but what's more terrible? The
Or
fact
even
that a
worse for-
normal kid would do this, or someone with? Because as a normal child, I don't think I could do that.
I think the fact that it was there was nothing wrong with what he did. It was just funny, and people took it and laughed.
There's
about
nothing
it.
wrong. Did you see the video that I saw?
Yeah, and whatever. It wasn't something I do, but
Look-
normal people do that
Look,
stuff. I assume.
If you could pull off some sweet moves, some like sweet kung fu stuff, and you film it, and if it looks good, good. But you film it and you see it, and you're like, if I saw myself doing that after I thought it looked pretty badass, and then I actually watched it, I'd be like, I ain't sending that to George Lucas.
Matt, the internet's a terrible place.
I'm not saying it's
Even
not.
even back then.
I'm not saying it's a terrible place. Just think about 4chan. I know it's a terrible place, but I don't think people would do that if he was autistic.
They
how,
didn't
how would
know.
you know? He's not like they have a label on his face.
Oh,
I'm autistic.
I'm
And
sure
they're like,
that
oh,
if-
guys, we can't do
You
this.
know what? We should Google the Star Wars kid and see what comes up.
Go.
You can go for it.
I'm just saying that part was awesome in Tony Hawk. That's all I'm saying.
It
he
was.
was there.
But it was a popular game.
They made fun of it in Arrested Development. I don't know if you remember, where Michael Cera's caught in the garage doing the same thing.
Yeah. Oh
What a
man, I
time.
totally forgot
Yeah,
about that.
poor kid, man.
Yeah.
There was some classic early internet memes.
Oh, Afro Ninja.
Afro Ninja. That's
Mm-hmm.
another one where the guy thought he was doing some sweet moves and he failed.
Well, at least I don't think he posted that. It looks like he was auditioning for something.
Does anyone remember All Your Base Are Belong to Us?
Yeah.
That was the first meme I ever knew.
Okay, I think you're using this term meme a little bit too much. They were just internet videos back in the day.
Yeah.
But those were memes.
Like
Those
Strong
were,
Bad. You remember Strong Bad?
What?
You don't remember Strong Bad?
I don't know.
Those
like-
were considered internet memes.
The guy with like the wrestling mask and the 2 big boxing gloves. It was like this weird
No,
internet
no,
site.
no. I didn't see that.
Oh,
one.
that was great.
You're up to some weird shit. huh?
Yeah.
You guys remember Super Greg?
Yes.
Yes.
Super Greg was great.
Super Greg.
okay, we-
Super Greg. Super Greg.
Super Greg number one.
Okay, so we all remember this one is like the classic one, Grape Stomp.
Oh
Don't tell
yeah,
me you
she
don't
falls.
remember.
She falls.
Stop. You know. I know you know.
Is that the
I
new-
know
No,
you
seriously, I don't know
know.
what you're talking about.
Don't be an asshole.
What's Grapestone?
God damn it, Ashton. We're gonna take.
Don't you feel stupid now when I mention mine and you look at me like, what are you talking
Because
about?
I didn't know yours. Everyone knows Grapestone.
No one knows Grapestone.
Everyone knows
the hell
Grapestone.
is
They even
that?
made fun of it in Family Guy, and I know you watch Family Guy.
Yeah, I do.
And you would see that reference, and you would.
I
you
would have
just-
laughed because it was funny.
Yeah, because you knew what it was referencing.
I got to see this.
You've seen it. Don't you play? He's just upset now because I didn't go along
I
with.
may
no-
have seen it. Grapestone?
Yeah, we're the girl that. I think we're a little off top.
Back to sports.
Yes, back to sports.
And back to you, Matt.
So yeah, Tony Hawk, great games.
Awesome games,
Great games.
especially the one with the skateboard accessory.
Oh yeah, we talked about.
Yeah, we did talk about it.
And I ripped it pretty
Terrible.
hard.
We keep talking about Tony Hawk games.
Yeah, but
It's okay.
Tony Hawk, that was like a time where I was into like skateboarding. So I was into that
Ashton
whole...
would like wax the curb so we can do like a sweet grind.
I just do it while holding my boards. People thought I would do it. Like they thought I grinded. They were like, didn't. I wasn't very good at it.
You know what's funny when you
I just
think about it?
enjoyed the culture. I was really big into the culture, the clothing,
Vans,
that
shoes.
style. I really liked that. And mind you, I loved watching it and always fantasized of like, I can do that, and I couldn't.
Well, it's not just that, but you guys, Jackass came out around this time, and Jackass had a big skater culture to it too. A lot of the guys.
Yeah, Bam
skated.
Margera was.
Bam Margera.
That was what CK, what was it called before CKY?
CKY was
yeah,
first.
So that was before. And then
Yeah,
Jackass became popular.
So you had a professional skater doing his CKY thing, and it
Yeah.
all kind of tied together around that time where it wasn't just a video game now, it was bigger than that.
yeah, it was part of culture.
Yeah, it was part of culture in that time, in that era growing up.
And it felt
The
like
music, everything about it.
a Tony Hawk came out like every year too. It's kind of like
Yeah, it was.
it was like the first yearly game other than sports games. That's the one thing about sports. It's the yearly thing, right? So actually it technically is a sport game, right? It didn't feel like one though.
No, and again, that's why that's a kind of after a little while, I got tired of it. Like as I mentioned before, all the sports games how we play them, it's just it was the same thing over and over. So I needed something different, and that's what was fun about Tony Hawk. It was again very arcadey.
Yeah.
FIFA Street was I love that. I think there's about 2 or 3 versions of it.
Yep. There was 4 actually.
4?
Four
Was
or
there
five.
4?
First 2 were good.
There was
for
5.
sure.
Really?
There was FIFA
I
Street.
played like 1 or 2 of them.
There was FIFA Street, then it went FIFA Street 2, and then on
was
Xbox
Underground?
360, there was FIFA Street 3, where you could do like wall runs,
You
which
could do that in the
Right.
first one.
not wall runs. Like
Yeah, you can
could-
sprint towards the wall and then you do like a wall run.
in FIFA Street.
I'm pretty sure I started playing on FIFA Street 1 and I maybe played the second one. I don't think I played after.
FIFA.
I'm thinking
Street
NBA
3.
Street. I'm thinking
yeah.
NBA. I think
At FIFA Street 3, you could like lift the ball up and do like a little run on the wall. And then it went just FIFA Street. They restarted it, rebranded it, and it was just FIFA Street. So sorry, there was
That's when I
4 of
stopped
them.
playing.
Yeah, that was back in 2012. If I
Okay.
remember correctly, that they released FIFA Street.
But if they release one every year, it wouldn't be special to me either, right?
No,
The thing with Tony
exactly.
Hawk is it's not like a half pipe every game. It's like a different world. So you're kind of seeing new things. Even though it might play the same, at least you're seeing a new environment. And that's enough for me to keep me a game fresh, like Call of Duty
And
every
they,
year.
they changed it. Remember, they used to have that time clock. It was like a 2-minute run in a park, and you had to do different things. It's like get a high score of this. Then it was get the secret videotape, get the skate, get skate spelt out, unlock this door, grind this rail. Like it was things. Then Tony Hawk 4, they got rid of the time clock, and it was just a list of challenges you
I
had
think
to
I
do
stopped on that
per section.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had mentioned that before in a previous podcast.
There was a map, I can't remember which one, that I figured out a way to grind around the entire map, like just in massive circles over and over again.
It's probably Tony Hawk 2 or 3.
I can't remember which one that was.
It was either 2 or 3. No,
That was fun.
There was another list I saw when I was doing some research on the topic. I was looking up ESPN because they did a list of the top 10 sports games or top 25, and I only took the top 10. I would kind of be boring just rifling off a list of the top 25 sports games. So this was ESPN. So number 10 was Madden 2005. So funny enough, it was also on Metacritic. Then they had NBA Jam at 9, which I
Ooh, that's
thought was
a
a
little-
lie. Yeah. ESPN NFL 2K5.
Oh, I wonder how that one.
Yeah, that's a little biased.
Yeah. Basketball Stars at number
I don't
7.
even know that one.
NBA Street Volume 2,
That was
which was
fun.
great at 6. WWF No Mercy at number 5.
Okay.
MVP Baseball 2005. That was the last sports game EA Sports made.
Really?
Yeah, with Hanley Ramirez on the cover. That was number 4.
Was that a good game?
Yeah, that game was fantastic. Still one of the best baseball games ever. Here's one that I think we all played and all loathed. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh,
or
that one.
as now known, featuring Mr. Dream after the whole...
Yeah, Punch-Out. Yeah.
That was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
That game was impossible, though.
Oh, yeah. No. No one really beat that game.
Andrew beat it. My brother
your-
beat Punch-Out. I
Your
remember
brother's a dirty
watching
liar.
him
No.
beat Punch-Out.
He gave you LSD or something because it's not possible.
No,
He made you think he beat it.
No, he beat Ninja Turtles, which I thought was impossible too, the original one.
Yeah.
I
Andrew
watched him
beat-
do that.
Did he do it off the cartridge or off an emulator?
No, he did it on the original Nintendo.
Your brother is a special person.
He did it because we used to have one, and I remember him and a buddy would come by, and they would get up to the thing, and they wrote down the password, and they would redo the Mike Tyson until they learned every pattern of his and beat him because it was all pattern based.
Yeah.
It took him a good week to do, but he did it.
Pretty sure now that you mentioned that they wrote the movie Rain Man based off of Andrew.
Yeah, very, very likely. So number 3 was Mike Tyson's. So number 2, and you talk about Sega a lot, playing Sega growing up, sports games, and I'm surprised you didn't mention this game, NHL 94.
That's a pinnacle NHL game.
That was the start of the one-timer. It was the first game to offer the one-timer.
And shooting from
Yeah.
the what's called the inside circles inside the blue line and
Yeah.
scoring every time,
Yeah, and then number 1
which I didn't
was,
catch on to after my friends crushed me a bunch of times.
Number 1 was Tecmo Super Bowl. On Super
Tecmo Bowl?
Yeah, the Tecmo Bowl on Nintendo Entertainment System.
I remember that game. I guess it's
It
fond
was
memories.
like ice hockey.
Yeah,
it was like part of the ice hockey line. So
Talking
now,
about, sorry, before you go on, talking about like being cheap in sports games.
Yeah. 93 was the wraparound. Just
we
in
were-
NHL.
We were yesterday with Matt. I was talking about probably the last. It was a bit of a lie, a bit of a stretch, but the last like soccer game I was really into, just because I owned it, was World Cup '98. And it was a terrible soccer game,
Wow.
but if you ran down the wing of any side, so left or right side, it literally just ran down, cut in just a little bit, and shot. It was a goal every time.
You're the type of man that would exploit that, aren't you?
That's amazing.
there was a lot of sports games that had a lot of glitches.
You know what my favorite one is? Remember Stanley Cup for Super Nintendo? So basically, when you got the puck, it did a 3D rotate so you're looking from behind your players. I don't know if you played it because you had Genesis back then?
No, I rented Genesis. I
Okay,
actually
okay.
didn't own Genesis.
So I remember there was a trick where if you flick, there's a button to flick the puck, kind of like a dump button, but it went high enough. So if you're like straight on with the goalie, you flick the puck, it hits the glass behind him, the goalie goes around the net, and the puck comes right back to you. It was the best.
NHL 2002 had
It was so good.
NHL 2002 had this hilarious glitch where if you hit one of the trigger buttons, you did like a 360 spin, and if you hit it and halfway through the circle, if
Yeah.
you timed it and you hit shot, he would shoot halfway through and it always went in.
Really?
Yeah, so like your guy, you just like go up the ice a little, you do like this half circle and shoot, and he throws it and it just goes in the net. It was the most ridiculous thing ever.
I think that's the reason why there's an update every year for these games, because there's something wrong in the core of the game, and these people exploit these glitches. That's probably
But see, that's something that could be fixed with an update,
yeah, probably. But
right? Like,
who
do
knows?
they need to release a sports game every year? Can't they do one every 2 years and do a big overhaul of
So
it?
just so you know, the marketing guy at EA that's like FIFA, let's release a game every second year. You know where he is? He's unemployed right now.
I know, but I'm thinking of for the consumer. Like, there's a lot of fans that like sports games, but the reason they don't get into it is because why am I going to buy this game when I have to buy the new one that has substantial upgrades to it just to have the new roster and the updated stats?
I'll tell you why, because the value of your current game drops significantly,
Sure, but
like heavily. So you get rid of it and you buy the new one
wouldn't
right
they
away.
be able, do you think, and I'm not saying they would, but do you think they maybe be able to hold a bigger fan base if it wasn't an annual release for
I don't know.
small upgrades? And
I don't
they
think
updated
I think
it?
their fans are like the people that want it and play it and love it. They want it every year.
Yeah, they're gonna. So maybe you get, let's say you have like 500,000 people buying FIFA every year, and if they released it every second year, you might get like 550. So they're still losing 450,000 the next year.
And the thing is, I don't think they're gonna lose money anymore because every game mode has a game where you have to spend money, microtransaction.
Yeah, they
FIFA
don't
has
care.
Ultimate Team.
They don't care what they made before. Now that they got these microtransactions and they're making a certain amount of money, they can't go below that anymore. So now that they've been releasing every year, getting $80, 60, $80 a year from everyone. Now they're getting microtransactions. They're not going to go back to being satisfied with making $60 one year, or $60 every 2 years, and microtransactions.
Yeah, fair enough. Me being a sports
The right
fanatic
thing.
and a fan would be every 2 years increase the quality of the game, make it much more worth the
Absolutely.
value, and update the game throughout the next year.
No, that makes sense.
Right? That's what I would like, because the microtransactions are there. Like, Ultimate Team is ridiculous. They make so much money off that stupid game mode. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. I saw when I was playing NBA 2K this weekend that they're advertising in game.
Yeah.
30% off virtual currency.
Yeah.
VC, right?
Really?
Yeah, VC points. Dude, FIFA, it started in 2009. They had done this before in previous games, like the UEFA Champions League game, but they finally made it an official game mode in 2009. It was called the Ultimate Team. And basically what it is you collect cards you play matches and you earn coins, and you then earn these coins. You have enough, you buy these card packs. In the card packs comes players, jersey kits, soccer balls, stadiums, all this stuff. So you're running this team and contract cards as well. So you'll get like a player like Ronaldo, and you'll have him for 7 games. Then you got to go out and buy a contract card to sign him to a new contract, and it's just a card game, and you play the game with the players you have, which are cards. And this game mode makes a killing. Like, if you go on YouTube and you type in FIFA Ultimate Team, there are videos of people opening packs just to see what they get.
So it's like the Call of Duty crypto keys.
Exactly like that, but of players with cards.
I'm opening 200 care packages right now. Let's watch this video.
Dude, I have a
I
friend.
totally didn't watch that.
I have a friend, and
I
I'm
totally
not
make one.
I'm not dropping names on this, but I have a buddy who was a big Ultimate Team player, and
Let's
he
figure out who
spent
this is, Ashton.
he spent $1,000.
Is his name Matt?
No. I could never do it.
Does it start with an R?
Yes. He spent $1,000 on Ultimate Team, and
Really?
we berated him for it. We're like, you are literally insane. And you know what his justification was? My time is more valuable to me than my money. So I rather save the time and spend the money to get a good team that I like, that I'll enjoy playing, than running
Grinding
around
through the game.
Exactly. And I've said, okay, fine, fair enough. You have that, you want to do that, but still, $1,000?
$1,000 is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But then again,
$1,000?
my question is, how many hours would he have to put in to get what he has? And it's stupid. I don't agree with it. I think they should make it more obtainable. But like Call of Duty, when we're playing Black Ops 3, the grind just to get the weapons.
Black Ops 3, this game's Infinity
Oh, yeah.
Warfare is terrible for that.
Yeah,
It takes
Infinite
so
Warfare's
long.
yeah.
Can I say one thing? This time around, there's way too many shooters out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was way too many between Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, and Modern Warfare Remastered. You had
Titanfall.
Battlefield 1, Titanfall. There was just so
Overwatch.
many. Overwatch. Like, there's so many shooters,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
and they're all very good.
yeah, they are.
Mhm.
If they're just one of them, you'd be satisfied with it. But now you have to choose between them. Like, we're in between Titanfall and Call of Duty Infinite and Modern Warfare. You got Overwatch and what is Battlefield. So you're stacked on shooters. You're good probably for 5 years.
Yeah,
Let's not forget
and
Star Wars Battlefront.
What? I did forget about
Yeah.
that.
I'm not even touching,
Intentionally.
I'm not even touching the other shooters.
It's
To
actually
be
a lot of
honest, it's just between like the Call of Duty with you guys and
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch.
And like the thing is, like, you look at Infinite Warfare, and if you do like the multiplayer, that's a lot. That's a handful of a game because there's so much to unlock. You have to grind through, as we're talking about the FIFA stuff, just like that. Then there's also zombies,
Zombies is really cool.
and zombies is fun.
Out of all the zombies, I think this might be the best one.
I haven't got. We haven't. Well, I guess we were playing together. We haven't gotten too far in it, but every step we take, it's just cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting there.
This one's really good.
Yeah.
I played quite a bit of this one's fun.
We'll have like an announcement on the podcast when we actually do something of I don't think we'll ever beat it. I don't know if you can beat it. I don't know
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah, there's the Easter eggs you can finish, but I don't know if we'll get there.
We got David Hasselhoff shooting people last time, so
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty cool.
So, quickly before we wrap up, anyone interested in For Your Honor? You're a lot
For
of
Honor.
chatter.
For
Yeah,
Honor.
For Honor. Sorry.
Not really.
No.
Okay, so once I see Ubisoft, I'm automatically, I don't think it's going to be a good game. And then I started seeing For Honor, and I went to like a flea market, and some guy had like a video game stand because I wanted to buy some Nintendo 64 controllers because I found mine recently, and I'm short on controllers. And he had like a display. So this is a Saturday, and For Honor comes out Tuesdays. Like, if you want, you can pick it up now. He's like, he's going to break street date just to sell to me, but he's going to make an extra $5. That's the trade off. And I'm like, what is he? He starts explaining to me, and it's not just like a typical hack and slash game. Like, depends on your stance and your blocking. Like, it's a complex fighting system. And I'm okay. I'm like, whatever. I'll go check it out. And then I started seeing it, and it looks cool. It's starting to look really cool. I'm watching like videos online of people, one guy going versus like 2 or 3 people, and he ends up winning the battle, and it's very technical. But then I started hearing like the reviews are coming in. It's a good game. It got good reviews, but I mean, with the amount of games I have right now, it has to be a stellar game, like for me to invest time into. So, and also Zelda's coming out in like 2 weeks.
Keep your
Horizon Zero Dawn is coming out.
yeah,
in a week
that's
and a half.
another one. Is anyone interested in that one? I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. They got my curiosity. Now they have my attention.
It looks really pretty.
Yeah.
We'll see what the reviews say. Hopefully, we're gonna get a copy, and we're gonna give it a try. We might be a little late with the review because it's gonna take us some time to get through it.
The world looks really cool, and sorry about that. The world looks really cool in Zero Dawn Horizon. I keep thinking of Zero Dark.
Because of Forza Horizon. Oh, and that too.
And Forza Horizon.
That too. All right. Well, that's this week's episode.
Yeah.
But we'll be back. Keep your eyes and ears posted. We're gonna have a Nintendo Switch reveal episode.
Yeah, we're gonna get together the Friday, March 3rd. But that's a couple weeks from now. I'll probably have another podcast in between.
Yeah, we will. That topic will be determined.
Yeah.
We haven't really thought about that.
So we're gonna get to hear. I guess me and Matt are all for the Switch. So I guess the person you really want to hear from is Ashton, if you're a skeptic.
I can't wait to see everything go wrong.
What if it goes super
Now
well?
you're just being a jerk.
Yeah, I am.
What if it goes super well?
I wanted to.
You're just like your anger. You
come
around.
Luca sent a video of the game 1-2 Switch today.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop laughing how terrible that game looks.
What do you mean? I'm going to tell you right now, that'll be the best $50 you spend on that game. Because no, there's going to be some funny stories that come out of that game.
There's going to be some awesome YouTube videos.
Yes.
There's going to be some funny memes for sure.
And you can rip it as much as you want. If that game never comes out, you're not going to see those videos.
Fair enough. No,
The soda shaker game?
It's like Shake Wake.
Yeah.
Shake
Wait, yeah.
Sorry.
That I agree with you, but just the concept of it, I don't see that lasting very long. I just laughed that whole time. Like, this game is terrible.
I hope this game does so well just to spite Ashton.
Hey, good for them if it does.
Yeah,
It's
no, I know what
it's
you
still
mean.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's going to flood like EB Games and going to be like on the trade-in section. That'll be there.
Yeah. A quick one. I don't think it. We talked about it, but on the Nintendo, I guess their second reveal, the one where they showed a lot of games, that ARMS game, you weren't too impressed with what you saw, but.
No.
Reading on Reddit, I mean, it could be someone advertising for Nintendo. This guy was at a Nintendo event somewhere in Europe, and he said he played ARMS for like 20 hours, and he said the controls are so intuitive, so it's like perfect. He says it's going to blow your mind, is what he's basically saying. So I'm interested in that. I don't know if it's a launch title. I don't think it is.
I'm interested in Splatoon. I want to be a squid.
You know what? I didn't play the first one, so I mean, this might be the one I try.
I doubt it.
Probably not, but we'll see.
I'm just going to go hard on Zelda.
Oh, man. Did you hear that they have DLC?
Of course they do.
They have a season's pass, but it's like $20-something.
Oh, yeah? What's the season pass include?
I read it first. Something like they're going to include a hard mode, which is
It's like
stupid.
putting a season pass on Mario. You don't do that.
No, but
Just put
they
in
do
the
have
fucking
extra story. They have a story. They have 2 DLCs. One of them's going to have story in it.
God damn it. Just make the game.
I don't think Nintendo's shorting you on any content, to be fair. But yeah, I agree with you.
Just
Instead of
finish the
working
game.
on that extra DLC, work on the next Zelda.
Can they bring the water temple back just to troll everyone?
I like
Like
that
halfway
temple.
through the game? Water temple.
I enjoy that one.
It's a great temple, but it's annoying. I don't think you can go through the temple and be like, this isn't annoying. This is fun. I'm having a blast. Changing the water levels,
Damn
then going
right.
back down, then to go back
Getting
up.
the lead boots.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The extra long shot. You get it in there
that's
too.
right. That's right. That was cool.
God, we should go play Ocarina of Time.
We should go.
All right. Well, looks like we're gone gaming.